Hey, I appreciate you joining us. Appreciate you letting take part of this event.
Of course.
You know, I've heard a lot about it. Even before met Dehan, I've heard a lot of people talk about the clinic that you guys put on. So he shared a little bit. He's been with you for about 4 years, but you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
So share kind of what got you into it originally, and then, you know, where your path is taking you and how you got here.
Well, basically the way it all started is, I mean, I've been a coach, trainer, a bodybuilder for a lot of years. And there's been so many shows where I've seen people have great physiques and their presentation just wasn't there, and they could have won shows, but they didn't know how to present it, and they end up getting third, fourth, fifth, or not even placing when they didn't display their physique correctly. So my thing was, I'm going to make sure my clients never have that problem, because we're going to bring a great package, but we're going to make sure that they never lose it because of their posing, because you see it all the time. Physiques that could have won a show didn't display it right, because I always tell everybody, you know, it's not the physique you possess, it's the physique you display, okay? Those judges ain't with you at the gym walking around, they ain't with you backstage. All they know is what's before those eyes and those mandatory poses for those 2 minutes. So you better display it perfectly, okay? So what I started doing is I started doing like a little thing with my clients at first. I started with my clients, and every Saturday, back when we were at World's Gym in Sheffield, I would rent out the Group X room there, and every Saturday we would do a posing clinic, similar to like we do here. And I had a good amount of people because I had good clients. It was just basically for my clients. And then, you know, we did it every week, and obviously my clients' posing was always, you know, really good. It made a big difference in the shows.
Sure.
And word got out about it, you know. And then once Dehan became one of my clients, he was working with me. I had him come into the clinics. That's actually how he met me, because he needed help with posing. He was with another coach back then. And he hit me up. He said, "I heard you do posing," and he came out to one of my clinics then. And that's actually how we ended up getting together. So I ended up becoming his coach, training him. And then we started doing collabing and doing some stuff together. So then we decided, hey, why not open this up to some other people instead of just our clients? Why not open it up so we can, you know, get like a community going on it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what we did. So we said we gave it a shot. And we started opening up to other people, and it just blew up. It took off. And I know a lot of people in the sport. I've been around a long time. I know a lot of good coaches, a lot of good pros. And they're all great people, and I would just call them up and say, hey, you want to come out and help with this? And many of them did, and they come out on a regular basis. You know, they take the third time out of their day. They travel a long way just to kind of give back to the bodybuilding community that gave to them. And it's worked out really well. So we get some great pros from all over, and we make a fun event from it. We get to meet some other people in the industry, you know, like-minded people. You get to learn some stuff, and it's a great experience. And we only charge $10.
That's amazing.
Because we're not doing it to make money, okay?
Right.
We're doing it to help our clients, to help other people. Just like I said, the other pros do, we do. We're giving back to the sport that's giving back so much to us.
Well, and the other thing about it too is you talk about building a community.
Yeah.
This is a difficult sport. You know, I talked about with Dehan, like 12 months out of the year, you have to have a discipline really that most, even, you know, NFL sports, basketball players, like they don't have the discipline that you guys when it comes to diet, when it comes to training.
No, it's 24/7. It's the hardest sport there is when it comes to that.
So when you have a bunch of people, even if you're not training with them, if they're not part of your clients, like just having other people, it's like you want to go grab dinner. You know that you go grab dinner with them, and they're going to be struggling to pick the same things you are.
Exactly.
It's got to be a big benefit to them.
Definitely is. And you know, the rest of the world doesn't understand what we do, you know, because our sport is very extreme. It's 24/7, you know, because it's not just, you know, like you mentioned, if you're in the NFL or the NBA, you know, you go to practice, you got your games, and that's it. You got the rest of the time, evening to yourself, you do what you want. Bodybuilding, you're getting ready for a bodybuilding show, you got to get up first thing in the morning, do your cardio. You got to have your meals all prepped. You got to eat your meals throughout the day. You got to practice your posing. You got to do your workout. You know, all these little things you have to do. I mean, it's really 24/7 on top of doing your job or whatever your profession is. You know, so it's very difficult.
That's another part. I didn't even think about that, because this isn't a high-paying sport until you're getting into the big sponsors and things like that at the Olympia level, I'd assume. So this is really a hobby for a lot of you guys.
Right. Now, you know, obviously some people make money with it. It's only the top pros that do. You know, most people, they do it for the love of the sport. And finding like-minded people, because like I said, the rest of the world doesn't get what we do. They don't understand it. They're not living it. But seeing other people that are going through the same journeys, the same struggles, and meeting those people and encouraging each other really just created a community that just exploded. It took off. I didn't even think it would take off like this, and it just took off. And these things became huge, and, you know, other competitors got to meet other people in the industry, and it really become a great experience.
Well, and we talk about too, like obviously the overall health of Americans right now is kind of on the decline, but it seems like, whether it's through social media or whatever, it seems like the fitness industry is starting to really come on an uptick right now. So you guys train other clients as well, not just people that are trying to be bodybuilders, correct?
Correct. We do a lot of lifestyle clients. A lot of people just looking to get in shape. You know, aside from bodybuilding training, I was known for transformations. I've had over 20 clients that have lost over 100 pounds.
Wow.
You know, so that's very rewarding also. And many of those clients, like you get a client and they'll say, well, you know, I don't ever want to compete. I want to get in shape. I'm like, that's great. Let's get you in shape. But as they get deeper into it and they start getting in shape and they start seeing the reality of, like, maybe I do want to compete. So there's a lot of people that have come to me, and just looking to get in shape and looking to change their lives in a way, like I said, maybe they're 100 pounds overweight. But then we get them to that goal and they can see it all form, and they're like, man, I never thought I would do this. I never thought I'd have the confidence doing it. I never thought I'd have the ability to do it. Let's do it. And then those people sometimes actually end up becoming competitors and do really well.
And unlike a lot of sports, it doesn't have to stop in your 30s, right? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll be 53 in 2 weeks.
Jeez, congratulations.
This past September, I just won the IFBB Pro World Championships.
Wow.
So I'm a Pro World Champion. I beat guys much younger than me. So really, no, it doesn't have to end. You know, it's all on how you take care of yourself, okay? There's a lot more knowledge now than there was years ago on training, nutrition, recovery, you know, doing the things you need to keep yourself healthy and stay, you know, even if it's not in the sport, everybody wants quality of life. Quality of life is everything. It's not even about how long you live, it's the quality of life to be able to do the things you do. And I've told you before, like, you know, because I'm still going and I keep retiring, and I come out of retirement and I do well. And I'm like, well, the thing is, nobody ever wants to stop doing the things they love. The reason they stop doing the things they love is they're not capable of doing it anymore. You know, professional athletes retire because they get older, they get injured, they can't do it no more. You know, the same thing with bodybuilding. You know, people retire because they get injured, their body breaks down, they can't do it no more. But if you can intelligently do it in a way where you work around things, you keep yourself healthy and keep the quality of life good where you can still do those things, why not do the things you love? There's no age limit on it. You know, it's all on what you put in and how you take care of yourself and how you persevere.
So do you get, when you do these different shows and you're competing, especially on that national level, do you see a lot of people, though, that are your age that are still doing it, trying to fight through it?
I'll tell you, it's more common now than I've ever seen. I've seen some great competitors in their 50s and even in their 60s that would blow your mind how they look. Wow. You know, and it's a lot of these older guys are beating the socks off these young guys in their 20s and 30s because they've been doing it so many years. They got muscle maturity, they got that hardcore attitude. And, you know, one thing about the older generation is they're willing to suffer and work. When a lot of the younger guys, they really don't have that yet. They're kind of soft. They don't have that mindset yet. But as you get older, you get that work ethic where, man, you'll do whatever it takes. You'll push through, and it shows on the stage.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you this. Obviously, you guys do men and women, you do bikini.
Every division.
How many different divisions are there, I guess you say, for man and for woman?
All right.
There's quite a few,
So
right?
in men's, you got 3 divisions.
Okay.
You have bodybuilding, which obviously everybody knows bodybuilding.
Sure.
Then there's classic physique, which is similar to bodybuilding, but with classic physique, it's more of a classic look, okay? So more of that V-taper,
Gotcha.
more streamlined look. So what they do so in bodybuilding, whatever you weigh, that's your weight class. If you know, as an amateur. As a pro, you're just a pro. You compete against any weight class.
So it doesn't matter what weight class. Right.
But as an amateur, you get a weight class. Doesn't matter how tall you are. If you're 198 pounds, you're a light heavy. If you're over 198 pounds, up to 224 pounds, you're a heavyweight. If you're over 224 pounds, you're a super heavyweight. So anyways, there's weight classes, okay? So no matter how tall you are, as big as you are, that's what level you compete in. Now, classic physique, they go height by weight. So if you're a certain height, you can't be over a certain weight, so you're not too big, so you have more of that classic look, okay? So, because otherwise, there'd be a blurred line between bodybuilding and classic physique.
Gotcha.
So let's say if you're 5'10", say 5'11", you can't weigh over 215 pounds.
Okay.
Because you don't want a 5'11" guy coming in 240 pounds, and then it's just changing the division.
Right.
So that way they keep it a classic division. It's still a lot of muscle, but it's not as much muscle as open bodybuilding, so there's a separate look. Okay. Then you have men's physique. Now, men's physique is the look where they wear the board shorts.
Gotcha.
And it's more, when it first came out, it was just more of a beach look. But now these guys have a hell of a lot of muscle, man. They have a hell of a lot of muscle now.
This is like the real V.
And I'll tell you, it became a really good look. When men's physique first came out, I wasn't really a fan of it because they would mark you down if you had too much muscle. They didn't really want. Now these guys are jacked. They got a good amount of muscle, but they got beautiful physiques, man. They got those super round cap deltoids. They got those tiny little waists. Flows really good, and they do have legs now. Okay, because back in the day, you know, the guys, they would just cover their legs. Now these board shorts are tight, and you can see the shape of the legs. So that's your men's divisions. And now I like all 3 divisions. They're all really good. Women have a few more divisions. So women, you have bikini, okay? You have figure, which is kind of like the athletic look.
Okay.
You have wellness. The wellness division is relatively new, and it's really taken off. That's for the girls that have the bigger lower bodies. So their lower body's a little more developed than their upper body. That's wellness.
Okay.
You have women's physique, which kind of took over women's bodybuilding. Okay. So there still is women's bodybuilding, but you don't see as much. Women's physique is basically similar to very similar to women's bodybuilding. Okay. So it's a more muscular look. It's a bigger look with more muscle and more conditioning. Okay. And then now we have a new division called fit model division. So that's a step down for physique. So they don't really want you, because now these are a step down for bikini, I should say.
Okay.
Because the bikini girls, when they first came out, was more of a beach look too. Then it started evolving, and these girls have a little more muscle. They have a little more definition. So now they made a division this year. This is first year for it, called fit model, where it's more of just like a tone look for girls. You know, feminine tone look. They don't want shredded abs. They don't want the kept delts. And it's going to be the first year for that division.
So do you see that being like a stair step into the program for women?
You would think it'd be a stepping stone for like for a girl that maybe wants to do bikini, work her way up to bikini or figure, maybe like a starting point. You know, that's the way I would view it as. You know, because it's not as extreme of a look as the other divisions.
Okay, awesome. Well, so what's going to happen here today? Dana told us kind of you're going to do like an overall where you're guys going to show a couple off.
So what we'll do is first, I'm going to give an example of how a show is run, because not everybody's been to a show before.
Sure.
So the first thing I do is I give a example of each division of how they're going to judge pre-judging, how it's done, okay? How they're judged, the mandatories, I move them around. We do like a mock show, okay? We just kind of give an example. And then after we do that, I break it down in sections with the coaches, okay? So you'll have bikini, you'll have with their coaches, you have figure in another area with their coaches, you have bodybuilding another with their coaches, and so on and so forth. So everybody will go to their section where they want to learn how to pose, and there'll be qualified pros and coaches there to help instruct them. So it'll be each groups on each side, you know.
And how are you doing on time? It's about 10 till. You got to get going.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes. I got to get
here. Okay. Well, let's talk about real quick the coaches that you guys have here. Do you kind of vet the coaches that you have in there? Because obviously they're associated with you. You guys run this clinic. So
yeah, I've been in this industry a long time, and I've met a lot of great people. And some of these coaches I've helped turn pro. Some of them they've been pros. Some of them are other coaches in other areas. You know, so we got so it's people I've known in the industry. You know, for the years and years. And they come out and they help, you know. So I have certain ones that come all the time, and then sometimes we get a special one to come out. Some of them are pretty far away, so I won't ask them to come every time. But you know, we've had we've had Olympians here, you know, on a regular basis. You know, pros that have won pro shows, top coaches here. So we get them from all over, and basically they just come out of the kindness of their heart to help with everybody, to help me out with this thing, and to give back to the community, and it's a great experience.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you get back to work.
Yep, we'll talk again in a little bit. Okay?
Absolutely, for sure.
Protected for vibrant nights in the fray. Nothing